Gals. did Brad tell you we call listeners gals?
No.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Brad.
And we're
I'm Bethany.
Joined by Bethany. Bethany, how do you want to introduce yourself?
Brad's wife? Question mark?
I tricked her into it.
Why is there a question mark?
It's debatable.
That went down a road I didn't expect. With a special episode reviewing Peacemaker. I don't think it qualifies as an underappreciated show, but I mean,
maybe
everybody, clearly not enough people are watching it.
Yeah, because it was at the same time as Book of Boba Fett, so I mean, it kind of, if people were going to pick one or the other, a lot of people pick Book.
Did they?
Instead of, yeah, I would say so. I think the more attention was on Book of Boba Fett than it was this.
I not to piss off Ryan from Granny Shifted, but I literally was in the middle of a Nando V Movies YouTube video talking about how Book of Boba Fett was trash.
Mando 2.5.
I guess, yeah. I'm curious because I'm gonna look up the Book of Boba Fett and Peacemaker on Google Trends. Yeah. Yep, that's the way I thought. At least for the US. Let's see if it's worldwide. Book of Boba Fett peaked around December 26th to January 1st, and then firmly plummeted while Peacemaker peaked past Boba's initial peak. And then it came back when spoilers for Book of Boba Fett, but when Baby Yoda came
back. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I would have been shocked if the if people didn't fall off Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I would have thought that more people, just because of like DC gets its own rep and everything, but Marvel and Star Wars has been like boom, 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 boom. So that's why I thought that people were paying more attention to that than Peacemaker. But I mean, good to see that Peacemaker does get its own hype and peaks.
Yeah, you both firmly have your fingers on the pulse of people, and I was working backwards and be like, no, Book of Boba Fett's not as good as Peacemaker. No.
What? They both have their ups and downs. I'm not going to say this is like the all-time greatest TV show, but I'm not going to say it's bad, and I think it definitely deserves its second season.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope James Gunn stays with the second season. I don't know if they've announced that yet or not.
Oh yeah, he has announced that he's now writing and directing all of them. He wrote all the episodes, directed 5 or 6, except for Vigilante's episodes all the way through 5 because they had to reshoot all the scenes for that actor. So if there's an episode in those first 5 this is like directed not by James Gunn, and then you cut to Vigilante, those are James Gunn scenes. So he probably directed like 80%, and now he's directing 100% next season after Guardians is done. And also he has another Peacemaker spinoff that they haven't announced yet.
Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be. Actually, are we spoiling? Are we going to move into spoiler section?
Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't know if we're going to break.
My 2 minutes of non-spoiler is fuck you, see it.
Yeah.
That seems very Peacemaker. Fucking see it. Just fucking see it. Go. Did you like the Suicide Squad?
Pause this and go stream now.
Yeah, you've given us enough analytics. Thank God this isn't YouTube. Although I might put this on YouTube. Hi YouTube if I do. Thank God this is podcast. You could watch for like 30 seconds and it counts. So it's not we don't have to worry about retention. Go fuck you. See it. What the fuck?
It's only 8 episodes. I mean, you can plow through that in an afternoon pretty quick. Each episode's like 30, 40 minutes, give or take, 45 minutes, give or take. So
Yeah, originally I was planning tomorrow at the time of filming, when this is posting on Monday, trying to rewatch all of it before our review. But thankfully I got fired from Uber, maybe permanently, maybe. We'll see. So I did not get to. So yeah, point being, it's a very quick watch. Also, if anybody doesn't know, before we get into spoilers, there are post credits kind of scenes. Sometimes they're just an alternate blooper or a scene that was cut out. So,
or or just a scene could have went.
Yeah. So now, spoilers, because the reason I say it cut scenes is because in the finale, when the helmet that gave everyone else scabies was talked about, the person I was watching it with was like, no, post credit scene said it gives you scabies. I was like, yeah, they abandoned that.
Yeah,
it was just a cut scene.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad, because that'd be terrible, because why would you ever use that helmet?
I still like the scene to test yourself or whatever the fuck he said. But what do you want to start?
Did you just say activate anti-gravity?
That was a good way to set up. We're jumping ahead, but that was a good way to set up that Peacemaker could activate her human cannonball. What was it?
Human torpedo.
Human torpedo. Yeah. But where do you want to start with this?
The beginning. I like the beginning.
All right.
It starts.
James Gunn was born in
1436, died in 1516. Oh, wrong James Gunn. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah, the beginning, it kind of starts off right after the end of The Suicide Squad. Peacemaker's getting treated in the hospital for his wounds, gets out, and they don't send him back to prison, which he thought was kind of weird, which set up a really funny interaction with the janitor. It's like, dude, I don't have any more weed. That was one time. No, they said I could go.
Hey, can I trust you? No, man. No,
absolutely not.
All right, can I tell you something and that you're not telling anyone else? Of course, I would never betray someone. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing the orange shirt literally for Belle Reeves. Should have mentioned it sooner.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then so you get that scene, and then we kind of go into like what's going to be like the standard is just some really weird nonsense. And that starts off with the first set of the first time you watch the opening credits with the dance sequence, like the really rigid, like awkward dance sequence that you are just, the first like 2-3 times I watched, I was just so confused. I was like, there's got to be something going on with this, but nah, just the dance number, and it's just awkward, rigid, and includes everybody.
I showed my buddy Richard that last Wednesday because we had we all tested, did COVID testing and stuff, but we had a little pizza party. Showed him that episode, and he had the same reaction as I did. As soon as that started, he's just like, fucking love this. Just like, and we had just gushed over James Gunn a bit. I forgot I had this until Wednesday, but I have a hashtag rehired James Gunn tattoo that I got before he was rehired. And like, you saw that and high-fived me about it. But yeah, just, oh my God, I wish I had James Gunn's brain.
I'm glad I'm not in there. I'm glad I'm not in that brain, because that would be like,
there are some things that it's like totally yes, like that's awesome that it came out of, but that intro scene, I'm just like, what how did that come about? What sparked that to come to our TVs right now?
Because it's like,
do you want the answer?
No.
Mystery. Because everything is like so crazy. Like the jokes are funny. They're like, the scenes are ridiculously crazy. And just to have like that very rigid standard dance sequence, just as another way, just like throws you off the wall and just like, what?
Rock music and robot dancing. Like, how are these two combined?
Well, I don't know how they chose the ingredients, let's say, but James Gunn said that his mission was to destroy the skip intro button. Just make something that people would not want to skip. And he said it was the easiest process he's ever had because the dance choreographer, he like showed, I think it was a woman, he showed her a few of clips of himself dancing, which he had done for Baby Groot for Guardians 2. Like you can literally see side by side comparisons of that. And she was like, all right, cool, great. And she showed him it like however long later. He's like, it's perfect. But that was the origin. I'm not sure exactly why it could have been literally because of how the butterflies act in private, where they drop all semblance of human. And maybe, I know the woman who played Adebayo talked about loving how many different shades of people and body shapes of people who are all dancing together. So.
Yeah, and then you got like Judo Master who's like 5 foot, 85 pounds.
Really? Didn't
like,
have.
I don't know if he's that, but he just jumps into John Cena's arms.
Oh, that is because James Gunn loves figure skating. And the reason he had at the end of that, everyone at the end just go, because he loves that moment from figure skaters where like you can see on their face if they knew they killed it or if they fucked up. Either way, they just have to stand there like exhausted holding their pose until they're allowed to move on.
Well, and we've all never seen an eagle hug a man until this TV show, so that's a plus.
Where we saw it twice.
Yeah. Dad, get my camera. Get my camera. Take a picture of this. Quick, hurry up.
Hey, you don't want to believe in miracles? That's fine by me.
Yeah, and other than that, this show had a lot of comedy throughout it. Probably for me, it was probably the Justice League insults that he kept throwing around of all the other superheroes and their sexual preferences and orientations and sexual misdeeds. And
I don't know why Pepe the Frog 69 would lie to me. Oh, right after, and that actually the first time, he mentioned that was in the middle of the conversation being an allegory for police violence. Remember when he's like, "You racist ass."
Yeah, you gotta fine. I'll watch white people as much as I would do somebody of color.
Thank you.
Oh, you're that racist superhero. So between like the other Justice, that kind of comedy, the Justice League, and then also like Vigilante's humor, his like straight-faced, very serious humor that like he doesn't understand is like
the psychotic.
Yeah, slightly psychotic. But it's like very compassionate at the same time. Like the veterinarian, he wanted to kill all the veterinarians, but when he wasn't going to kill them, then you can't use duct tape because that'll hurt their skin. So we got to time up with something else, like stuff like that.
Honestly, it's probably because of James Gunn with the Suicide Squad and me being so obsessed remembering the Kingsman movies that are not afraid to just do fucked up shit and just kill people. I was surprised how few people died in this of the group, like what I think we talked about it after Economos killed the gorilla with the chainsaw. I'm like, and when I was watching, I was like, oh fuck, Vigilant please don't kill. You're gonna kill him. I know you're gonna kill him. There's absolutely no way you're not killing him by the end of this, and I'm gonna fucking hate it when it happens. But genius, James Gunn, and then they didn't do that.
Well, he almost died. Harcourt almost died. I think that was it. I think those were the only two that were really close.
Yeah, they kind of made it seem like Economist was going to at the end, but then he pulled through because he was like crawling, like army crawling at the end. But yeah, they made it seem like Harcourt was going to die like
Hard.
yeah.
And then Vigilante, you see him all in the hospital, and Vigilante jumps out the window, just bails out.
Just a little hop over in his underwear.
Yeah. Well, he's like, you've been shot. You should probably get checked out. No, I'm okay. No, dude, you've been shot. You should probably. No, and then he just like passes out right there on the floor.
And then makes it up to the hospital room, watches the TV and everything, and then
Out the window.
I'm done. Nope. Has like a little smile on his face too, like a little smirk, like, yep, nope, we're not gonna do this.
All right, so how did it hit you when Myrn, whatever his actual real name is, revealed that, talked about how he looked for the worst person he could possibly find, and still he knew that the chance for him to do good and like turn his life around was still a possibility? Did I ask that question right? Or well, when Myrn's talking about how he took over the guy's body, he mentions how he's the worst person he could find.
Oh, okay.
As in to choose to like not take a life away from somebody good, and yet now that he's in his mind and can feel all the things that he could feel, he knew that he could have still been redeemed if he had been given a chance.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of in the DC universe, it kind of proves that nobody's truly evil and nobody's probably truly good. So I mean that's pretty cool. I mean that's a cool way to introduce kind of that kind of concept into this. I mean, I don't really think it's like a huge metaphorical thing, but
I mean, we don't really see that, right? Because what is it? In Army of the Dead, like, I don't know if anyone's seen this, but spoilers. They go into the undead Vegas area, and their first thing they need to do is sacrifice somebody so that the Queen of the Dead can let them pass. And she just kneecaps some guy who's an asshole. You're like, yeah, he takes advantage of his position, and he's not the best guy. And when I watched it, I was like, fuck you, dude. I didn't give one shit. I didn't care. I didn't be like, yo, if we just like put him in jail, get him a therapist, like we need to what are prisons supposed to do?
Rehabilitation.
Not a goddamn second. Not one piece of my brain was like, oh, that's a little fucked up. I was just like, yeah, he's an asshole. Bye.
I mean, and then you've got other TV shows like Game of Thrones where you hate somebody and it just seems like they live forever. Forever. Like King Joffrey lived for like 3 seasons. Like you wanted him dead after season 1. You didn't even need to live another 2 more seasons. But then like you like somebody like what's his name? Sean Bean. Yeah. You start to like him, and 2 episodes in he dies. You're just like, what? Yeah. What are you doing? 2 episodes in this TV show, your biggest actor in this franchise right now that everybody's seen dies. Beheaded on screen.
Yeah, I remember the first time I even heard about Game of Thrones was from an Entertainment Weekly article talking about how his character got killed off at the end of season 1.
It wasn't even the end. It was like 3 episodes in or something like that. It was super early. Yeah, it was super early. And he was like the biggest actor that they had so far, like on that show. But it was crazy.
But like, okay, the big thing. Did your jaw drop when you found out what the butterflies' plan was and their motivations?
Question: which one? The one that Myrn explained, or the one at the end? At the end, okay. Because like you thought you knew exactly what was going on, but no. Then she went and like flipped it upside down. I'm like, oh man, okay, I got you. I support this. Nope.
I love the energy in your voice. If you had been like, yes, queen.
Yes. Exactly. That was what I was feeling in that moment. And then, nope.
Then just get like off screen, just gets blasted.
Human torpedo. Let's do this.
I literally went, holy shit, they're Superman. Like they're what I imagine the Man of Steel movie was trying to do before, in the first half, like showing this planet that got destroyed by corporate hubris and weak-limbed governments that wouldn't do what was right because of all this entanglement. And then
so the military takes over and
like
tries to force everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they might be Zod.
Yeah.
But I mean, but Zod was like, fuck you all, I'm gonna pave over your graves.
Well, he was like, wait, do I need you alive to get the codex out of you? No. Okay, then we'll go that route.
Yeah. But I guess if my guess is the reason it didn't work for Man of Steel is because Superman is largely just hidden and he wants to stay hidden, and then Zod makes him come out and he's like, all right, let's kill a bunch of New Yorkers, bro.
Yeah. Let's smash a few city blocks.
Yeah, but like them wanting to help us and them definitely being dead by 100 years, like that time, like them doing this knowing that they're not going to be around to reap the benefit, or I mean, I guess they're reaping the benefits now, but they're not around to see us avoid disaster.
Well, they were, but didn't they say that humans were on a crash course, like they're on an inevitable course? So wouldn't their like 100 years of just sucking this planet dry not really change anything?
They said that they were both on the same path, and their planet was like however long ahead, and they could, since they lived through it, they can see humans doing the same thing, but they have 100 years left of food from the cow. And if they can take over certain political leaders, I guess, they could steer us back on course before the butterflies die out.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough place to be in. That's a tough decision to make. I mean, just if you were to make that decision right now, it'd be tough. Would you let somebody take over, like that, an alien invasion take over certain spots, mostly political high up places, and trust that they're doing the right thing for us? Or do we just have to see ourselves through and either we make it or we don't, and it's on us?
Yeah. I honestly don't know, because like when the episode ended for me, I was like, I don't think he made the right choice. And then, if anybody doesn't know, HBO Max has made a Podly, or it's called Podly, the Peacemaker podcast. And James Gunn came back for an interview on the last episode, and he mentioned that they didn't talk about whether it was the right or wrong decision, but that Peacemaker made the decision for his friends. Like Peacemaker says, I knew they'd hurt you if I let them do it. So while it might not be the best decision for the big picture, he was doing it for the right reasons, for probably the first time he killed for the right reasons, outside of whatever his dad's telling him or Amanda Waller's telling him.
He kills for peace, and he's got the dove of peace on all of his weapons. He doesn't care how many people he has to kill for peace. He will do it.
I mean, this time it was for love instead of some ephemeral or how do you say it? Some imagined ideal that, I mean, I guess the argument could be made that all these people have just been taking advantage of him. I mean, Amanda Waller, definitely.
Definitely. Well, and the team at the beginning, until they kind of, because they thought they were super dumb and misogynistic and racist, and so they kind of treated him as such in the beginning, and then once they started to see him, and no, he's just kind of dumb, a little slow, because of the way he was brought up by his father, and kind of.
Yeah, up until they had like that ride where they did the picture and they were all like actually vibing and
all drenched in blood.
that was after like the first mission, yeah. After he killed the bear with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they brought that back at the end of the episode. They brought that picture back.
Yeah, had it on his desk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now Economos is back working with Amanda Waller. And
back at the compound, yeah.
But on the topic of him being like racist and sexist, Bethany, please tell me that you started calling Brad sweet cheeks.
I haven't, but thank you. But okay. We can make this happen.
Hey, sweet cheeks, you getting me a cup of coffee too?
Oh man.
You know, if I don't, then I'm going to need you to pick up on your side too. Okay, though, we got to teamwork this.
I'm not going to steal your man from behind your back.
Okay, I appreciate that about you.
He doesn't get that reference because he's never watched Letterkenny.
Oh, okay.
What?
I have not.
No.
I've watched like 2 episodes.
Pitter patter. Let's go. Come on.
There's another one. Another reference. Yep. If there's one thing I can spot, it's references that are made with the express intention of knowing that your audience will not understand it.
For me, it's honestly just habit, because like I say that to everybody for everything, because it's just part of our lingo now. It's those references. You got to watch it.
I say I appreciate you now obviously more than I ever did before seeing Ted Lasso, because it was 0.
Anything is an improvement. So it's kind of weird, because after they kill the cow, the Goth butterfly is still alive, the main leader. And he's hanging out with John Cena at his trailer, and Eagly doesn't attack it because Eagly was attacking him before, and then he had some leftover cow juice. But like, what's stopping the butterfly from just taking over John Cena just to take him over, and then once he starves, and it kills both of them?
Yeah, nothing. I don't know. Maybe if I had to like make headcanon for it, I'd say that. You know, you try.
She understands the decision that was made, and
well, she told him peace whenever she was in the jar, and then whenever they were at the cow, she was like, "I have no reason to kill you. I have no reason to hurt you."
Yeah, but then that was before he killed the cow and kind of sacrificed the rest of the butterflies and killed the rest of the butterflies except for that one that we know of.
I'd say my best guess would be like she's being. Or he, I don't know. They keep the human names.
Yeah.
Is being a good parent, as in tried to show them the right way, tried doing it for them, but at a certain point, Goff's not going to punish Peacemaker for their decision because it wasn't. I mean, the humans have to make their decision, and if Goff and the butterflies were trying to be benevolent gods, it would be pretty fucked up if they killed them when they didn't do what they wanted. Some floods, maybe something like that. So I don't know. Maybe a combination of like, oh shit, I hope you do good. / I am so fucking depressed that you just destroyed all my people and fast forwarded this 100 years. God damn it. Honestly, I was kind of getting freaked out when I was watching Goff land. I'm like, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it could have been all right, both of us.
It's hey, you killed off our race, I'm going to kill off you just to get even.
Yeah, there's nothing to say that. Yeah, I'm guessing based on how Myrn was talking about it that it's like the starfish. Once you're taken over, you're dead. I don't know.
Well, they cut out such a huge hole into your brain that I couldn't imagine you being alive, because they burrow into your brain and they take up such a huge space that I couldn't imagine living beyond that butterfly dying.
Yeah, and if there's a way to get the butterflies out without killing the person, I believe that Myrn would be doing that first.
Yeah.
You know.
But like the whole revelation of that he was a butterfly was kind of cool. I was kind of accidentally funny. Because she was trying out his X-ray helmet and then happened to look at her boss and realize that he was a butterfly.
By the way, that was the one prediction that I had correct from like episode 1, and it was purely looking at the dance sequences. Like Harcourt and Myrn both come in looking real robotic. I think they're both butterflies. Half right.
Yeah. Half right.
But no, that was hilarious. One, like when I was watching it, I was like, don't make a noise. Don't make a noise when you see it. Don't make a noise. Fuck. And I was like, wait, we're like 2 or 3 episodes away. Of course we couldn't like delay this longer. But then when the reveal that almost everybody else knew.
Yeah. Besides those two. Oh, well, the 3, Vigilante, Peacemaker, and Adebayo.
Yeah, was like, that was James Gunn. Just like Myrn, like crying that he took a bad man's life who could have been good. It's just, I don't know. I've told you this before, Brad, but I love when I see something that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't often see a show reveal a big twist and other people are like, yeah, we knew. Fuck. Like, guess what? We're not dumb. He took a blast to the face and he didn't have a scar.
With the killing of his father and then that coming up in the last episode, I think that's going to play huge into next season. Because they already kind of alluded to it with the hallucination in the woods, but I really think that's going to start taking hold next season. Anytime something gets stressful, I think he's going to start seeing visions of his dad, and it's going to start really messing with him.
Yeah. Take note, Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is how you do Ghost Dad. Because this is
Uncle Ben.
No, remember, did you see The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I'm sure I have. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm sure I have.
Yeah, Peter's randomly just seeing Gwen's dead dad. Ghost dadding around. And that's the visual reminder that I am every day disrespecting his dying wish. Oh boy. He just keeps seeing Ghost Dad is so. I don't know if it's worse. Which is worse, that or Ghost Edward in New Moon, or Ghost Wife in Django.
I have not seen Django. I've only seen Django Unchained.
We're at a crossroads.
Oh,
anyone listening, I stopped my Zoom video. I'm proud of that. Now you really can't go back to the hospital because that was such a creative way to tell me that you both are having children. With that dad joke.
What was the whole reason for the diary thing? And what was it actually his diary, or was it just Amanda Waller's kind of, trying to mess up anything or make sure she had an out? Or
No, it wasn't. It wasn't his actual diary from the beginning. Before Amanda Waller put the team together, she just looked towards the end game, towards the mission succeeding, and she wanted to frame Peacemaker to tie it up in a nice little bow. And basically, since this was fully off the books, absolve herself or any other members of the team of any guilt. Just be like, what? I don't know. Peacemaker was murdering all these people. So no, she's the leader who will kill a whole team to be a distraction in Corto Maltese. And yeah.
Including the person who saved him last time, Rick Flag, because he was a part of that first team, the distraction team.
Have you seen the deleted scenes? Do you know why Rick Flag was on that team?
No,
because he made fun of the shirt she wore. She came into work and it had some design on it, and he's just sitting around with the people in the control room drinking coffee, and he makes fun of it a little bit.
All right, team one, you go.
I'm not even kidding. That's, even though it was a deleted scene, that's still canon. That's why, at the beginning of this show, when they said last time on and they showed the Suicide Squad clips, they added the arrest of the woman who hit Amanda Waller on the back of the head. That's a deleted scene from the movie.
Is it?
It is.
No, I think it's in the movie.
It is. Trust me. It wasn't in the movie.
Because I remember seeing that.
Yeah, she hit her on the back of the head. But the repercussions of that member being arrested in the movie were cut out.
Oh, see, I thought it was because she was holding the ice bag to her head.
Yeah, no.
She was watching it in her office, and it was happening outside of her office. So I thought that was actually in the movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen the lead scenes.
It was supposed to be in the movie. They added it as a post credit, or as the last time on in the show. So you saw it in the show.
Oh, okay.
They just reintroduced it, or finally let it see the light of day outside of a deleted scene section.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. So maybe I'm just, my head's putting it there then.
But while those deleted scenes are canon in the Podley episode, James Gunn was very clear to say all the rumors are not true. They're not canon. Aquaman does not fuck fish. Green Arrow does not. What was the thing that was about Green Arrow?
Go to Comic-Cons with a 4-inch gaping hole in the back of his suit with glitter and something.
Yeah, he said it's canon that he has whatever that suit is, but it doesn't have a big butthole.
And then what was the other one? One of them jumps off buildings to munch on buttholes or something like that. Was that Superman? Leaps tall buildings in a single bound just to land on the other side to eat butthole or something.
I don't remember that one. I remember Wonder Woman fucking him at a party, which James was like, he just misinterpreted that.
But to have them show up at the end, and obviously, I mean, the only two real ones were Aquaman and Flash, which is still funny. It's like, fuck you, Barry.
And
I hate that rumor.
Did you hear about the two that were cut out of the episode? There were stunt people for Batman and Cyborg as well. And the stunt guy was able to post on Instagram, looking like Ben Affleck's Batman, but he's like, only James Gunn and Warner Brothers know why we were scrubbed out, but it was still a fun time.
Yeah. I mean, because you can see Superman floating there, and you can see Wonder Woman kind of shadowed out. You can see those two shadowed out, but no, you don't see Batman, you don't see Cyborg in the actual episode.
Yeah. Fucking
But
love Jason
actually-
Momoa.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be just a cool person to hang out with.
Yeah. No, he James Gunn said that he mentioned it before they started shooting, like the idea of that, and Jason Momoa just started laughing.
And then Frederick, what is his name? The actor for Flash probably isn't really doing anything else right now, so he's probably just hanging out.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the character's name is Frederick something, isn't it?
Wait, what's the Flash's name? His name is Barry Allen.
Oh, okay. So I don't know where I'm getting Frederick from then.
Let's see. Ezra Miller Frederick. I don't know. It was completing Frederick Douglass in The Search, but I don't know what that has to do
Nope. All right.
with Ezra Miller.
It's just me then. It's just my head jumbling everything up.
Oh God. I'm just seeing a bunch of pictures of Frederick Douglass and then Ezra Miller just right in. I'm like, I hope there's not a casting connection. Since he is an old black man. And Ezra Miller is a... Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you want Harcourt and Peacemaker to get together?
I think she'll be what he's fighting for next season. I think because they've kind of tried to ship it hard enough that I think she'll be in danger, or something will happen to her that he's fighting to get her back. I don't think they'll get actually shipped together, but I think that the show leads you down that path. Even though, he had sex with that one chick from the bar and then had a threesome with the one chick who...
The married woman and vigilante.
The vigilante. When he still had his helmet on.
By the way, Peacemaker is officially bisexual thanks to John Cena's improv.
Yes.
Wasn't intended, but James Gunn was like, "Oh, cool." But
I'm betting that it's going to come out somewhere down the line that Vigilante likes him more than just a best friend kind of thing. But I think he's going to be more interested in Harcourt or whoever else.
Bethany, do you want them to get together?
I don't know. I can kind of see it. I think it would be like the standard path to take for them to go. But I don't know. I think that he could just work. I think he needs to work more on himself and getting himself all in order first before trying to get all messed up in that. If they want to have some fun, go for it. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
It kind of got close there for a little bit.
He did wear an actually nice shirt instead of his Peacemaker costume uniform to the hospital.
A band t-shirt.
Oh my God. I love it. That's such sorry, I watched a 2.5 hour video about between the male and female gaze a couple days ago, and noticing the nice shirt felt like such a female gaze thing that I never would have noticed.
and that's why I'm here.
I'll be honest. I'd feel really weird for Harcourt if they ended up together, because I'm I'd rather. You know how sometimes when you're a dumb fucking young idiot and another relationship helps you not be that, but you don't stay together? I'd love if that was the course for them, but as friends. Just be like, no, you're such a fucking piece of shit following me and being creepy to this bar. Stop. And then eventually it'd be like, You know what? I know someone who I think would really like The Man You Are Today. Let me introduce you to them. Hello, this is Diana Prince. But I mean, like, if they started out like that, and I don't know, I'd feel like the lesson would be like, even if you're an asshole, just keep trying. They'll see you're not an asshole one day. You just gotta not give up.
Yeah, let's not promote that ideology, please.
I'd be shocked if James Gunn wanted to do that. But
I think it would be like, because that's kind of, you know, what everybody's kind of shipping, especially after that. But where would they actually go? You know, like, would they actually have a relationship? You know, those two personalities are vastly different. Is that something that, I don't know if I could picture that, you know.
Next season will be called How I Met Your Father.
Good show.
Is it? I have not seen it still.
Well, honestly, only in the second episode, but I love it, and I love How I Met Your Mother too, and I love Hilary Duff, so we're just all on the love train. Yeah. Literally.
I love How I Met Your Mother as well.
Then you'll probably like Father.
Well, it seemed How I Met Your Father seems more modern in a sense. They definitely are more open about certain things. How I Met Your Mother, they were a little bit kind of taboo about like talking about sex and sexuality preferences and stuff. This show definitely seems to be a little bit more open about stuff like that so far. So yeah,
kind of goes along with the whole, you know, whenever How I Met Your Mother was like released, and then now, like, even in episode 2, they're like, it's 2022, let's go, and they're talking about Tinder dates and, you know, hooking up until you don't want to no more, and the female is right to be able to do whatever they would like to do and hook up with
including murder.
Like to. Yeah, okay, we haven't got that far, but if you're ahead, then I appreciate that.
No, I haven't watched any of them. I think I'm going to wait till all 10 are out and then binge it, and then either rejoice or drink myself to sleep.
Speaking of waiting until all released, what did you think about them releasing the first 3 episodes and then making it weekly after that?
Made sense. Made a lot of sense why they had that very heavy cliffhanger on episode 3, right? Where it just was like, suspected butterflies fucking the population all over the world. And you're just like, what the, how are you, what? How in 8 episodes? How in 5 more episodes are we going to kill millions?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that cliffhanger was an executive's suggestion. I think it was the right choice, but, you know, just adding hundreds of thousands, if not millions of butterflies worldwide and then ending on a farm. It worked.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, any other filmmaker, I'd be like, okay, we're having 1 million people fight 1 million people, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. 1 million people versus 1 million ghost people.
I understood that reference.
I mean, I think for this season, I think it does really well, or did really well, to get people kind of into this. I think if you would have drug this out through 8 episodes weekly, I don't know if you would have had the same retention as releasing the first 3 episodes, making that it's almost a mini series, leaving off on a huge cliffhanger to start off into the weekly section. I think did really well. I think that won't be the case next year. I think next year, now that they've got an audience, that they'll just weekly at 1 per and not release the first 3 and then weekly after that
Well, you know why they do that, right?
to get everybody interested. So that way you can kind of binge the first 3.
That, but also if there are multiple episodes dropped all at once to begin with, it makes a habit for people of wanting to see the next episode. If you put all 3 episodes out right at one, I mean, you hear this about podcasts as well. Starting off with 3 to 5 episodes so that people get in the habit of wanting to hear the next thing or watch the next thing. That's why Netflix did their binge thing. I actually think they need to update it to be more of a marriage between it, but it just gets people into a habit of wanting to watch the next episode and being addicted to it. So, yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
Didn't Boba Fett do like 2 episodes? Or not Boba Fett. Mandalorian did like 2 or 3 when they first launched as well.
I don't remember. That was so long ago, it feels like.
It was definitely at least 2. But yeah, that's part of it. Like, yeah, I don't know if it was partially just, giving you enough meat to really sink your teeth into and get what's going on. And then also getting people subconsciously in the habit of like, yes, I want that. I need it now.
Well, and Peacemaker's was kind of like the odd character in the Suicide Squad. He was good, but like I can see where a lot of people are like, does he really deserve an 8-episode TV show? Is it really that much content in there? And then to see his whole backstory and everything like that was pretty cool. I mean, it turned out really well, but like to the people that are like, is this really worth investing, and 45 minutes of my week every week? And maybe they didn't really like the first episode. The first episode wasn't, exactly the way they wanted it to go. So now they got to wait until next week to see the second episode. And they're just like, maybe I won't watch it. So having all 3, like I said, get them to do the repeat thing, but then also to kind of build on the last episode, build, and leave on a good cliffhanger into the episodes.
That first episode did so fucking much. It was so good.
No, I really liked it. But if you were somebody that didn't like that, then maybe you don't turn in next week.
Yeah.
Where if you at least you got a second episode, you're like, well, maybe I don't really like that episode that much, but there's 2 more episodes. There's only 45 minutes. Let me see what the second one's about. Instead of having to go out, come back a week later and say, I'll give it another try. It's easier to pass when you do it the second time.
I will say, after seeing the Suicide Squad and this, I went back and watched F9 partway through the season. And while I think it still had some issues, John Cena puts in such a good understated performance. Like, he gets 12 seconds of screen time, but like I still felt for him there. I saw a lot more what you meant by them being very similar characters when we were just talking about F9 versus the Suicide Squad. Yeah, he's good. He's a good act. I like him.
Yeah, and he's obviously good at improvising. I mean, his wrestling days definitely helped to kind of improv and kind of go on the fly. But I mean, to take this character that James Gunn created and kind of make it his own without, being a diva about it.
What did you think of the piano solo?
Oh,
yeah,
that was. I honestly was like, I think it was Brad that said it was. He had just learned piano just for that scene. And then we were listening to something, watching something later on. And he apparently was, he played a piano song for somebody else. And it was just amazing.
Yeah, well, it was, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember the story, but I think it was taking James Gunn to the airport because he had to go to a funeral or somebody was in the hospital.
Yes. Where is the actual story? It was during the Suicide Squad. They had to pause because James Gunn's dog passed away.
Oh,
Yes,
that's what it
yes.
was.
And
then, so they were at a hotel lobby bar waiting for the ride to come pick them up, take them to the airport. And John Cena just jumps on the piano and starts playing the piano version of. I'm drawing a huge blank on what it was.
I've got it. While we were shooting the Suicide Squad in Pano, this is from Twitter, James Gunn. I got word my dog of nearly 17 years was about to pass away. It was one of the saddest days of my life. I decided to fly home for a day with him, to be with him. I sat in the hotel lobby bar with John waiting to be taken to the airport. John got up and sat at the grand piano and played the most beautiful rendition of the Pixies' Where Is My Mind?
Yes.
It crushed me and yet soothed me, and everyone around me was crying. I wanted to capture some semblance of that moment with this song. And it continues into a lot of great stuff about the character. But yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to know what John Cena's like on a personal level. Like, I wish I could know him in two parts, like before he started getting famous in like wrestling, what he was like then, because he kind of wrestling made him seem kind of like a D-bag at first, and then they kind of turned him into a good guy, and then they kind of turned him into a heel again.
I love all the facial expressions Bethany's making because I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about wrestling. I barely know what a heel means. She's just like, yeah, no, not really. Yep.
I agree 100% with that. He was a douche, like 120%. Before I started, even whenever we started watching the Suicide Squad, I was like, why the hell is he in this? Like, oh, he just wants to be more famous. Da 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 da. But then, like, I don't know. He actually might have a heart. And
Well, I know he has a heart. I know he does a ton of stuff for charity and for like what's the kids that are like terminally ill and stuff. He does a lot for them too.
Make-A-Wish.
So he does a lot of Make-A-Wish stuff. So I know he's compassionate. I know he's got a heart to put it like that. But I wish I would have saw him before, like to see if he was this eccentric, or if it's just kind of appeared over time, or if he's just not eccentric at all in his personal life. He's just a quiet, humble dude that just, when he gets in front of a camera, he's able to turn it on. And then when the camera's off, he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm, cool, just hanging out.
Yeah, from what I've seen in interviews and stuff, I think he's just really fucking humble. He's very thankful. It was funny because after the finale came out, there was some article about James Gunn talking on the I can't see John Cena jokes. And James Gunn was like, if I never hear it ever again. And I'm like, yeah, I can understand that. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because like maybe a year ago or half a year ago, someone asked John Cena the same thing. And he said, I'm basically never going to poo-poo something that's so connected to a period of my life that gave a lot to me and gave me a lot of opportunities. It was really important in my journey. So I'm never going to, like, I love it. Keep it coming. And I just thought there's one of two things. Either you really don't mind it and you're fucking Jesus Christ. You'll never get old. You're just you have that much kindness in your heart that it's not old. It'll never get old for you. Or you have so much kindness in your heart that it does annoy you, but for the consideration of others, you realize that they're not being mean. They're just trying to play. And so you'll never insult them or make them feel bad about just wanting to be kind to you. And either way, I'm like, fuck, that's just a very mature, kind. I would never, of course, I've never done wrestling or been into wrestling, so I don't have that emotional connection. But if he ever says, guys, can we fucking stop with I'm right here, skin, I get it, I'm invisible, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's been fucking how. shit
Yeah.
gets old. I wouldn't be like, you bastard.
here's two alternate possibilities. One, this is just like the biggest reverse psychology effect ever, where he's trying to get you to think that it doesn't bother him, so you stop doing it. Or two, he just doesn't want to hurt his brand and imaging, so he doesn't want to kind of disjoint himself from that, because so many people know him from that it would hurt his brand and image. Boom. See, look at that, the
Dun,
pessimist.
dun, dun.
He could, let's be real, he could be Dwayne Johnson around the time when he's joining Fast Five, and in 10 years he could be like, I am the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad presents Peacemaker and Eagly. That's also possible. Between the two of us, I'm usually the pessimistic one. But I don't know. I honestly think it's never been confirmed, so this is all just like using context clues. But originally, I believe Dave Bautista was offered Peacemaker's role, and he had to choose between Army of the Dead and this role, and he did it for career reasons. He was very compassionate with James Gunn, saying, I'm so sorry but this is a better opportunity. And James Gunn was equally as compassionate. He's like, I love that I could help you get to this point. Fuck yeah, I'm never gonna. And I mean, Dave Bautista was the one cast member in Guardians before it was announced where he's like, boy, if you don't use James Gunn's fucking script, fucking bring the lawyers. It's like, if you don't do that, I'll do it. They can make me do it. Because contracts, but I'm not gonna like it. And so he's the most, he feels like the realist of the group, just because he's like, I'm ready to burn this whole fucking good life I've got to the ground because this is wrong. So I think my best guess is that John Cena is a gentler version of that, a softer touch, just a little bit. But I don't know. And how humble he was on the F9 tour of just be like, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do whatever I need to do to be a good part of this team.
Are you talking about Batista or are you talking about John Cena?
John Cena.
Oh, okay. Because Batista was in 7 or 8.
No, Batista has never been in a Fast movie. And Batista's like, yeah, they wanted to meet. And I'm like, no thanks.
Oh, well, I know he was in a Bond movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Batista was in a Bond movie, but he refused to take a meeting for Fast and Furious. Which, okay. All right.
Well, I mean, when you're competing with The Rock and Vin Diesel about you can't lose a fight.
Oh, yeah. No, it was more like he doesn't want to do those kind of films. That's not the path he wants to take his career on. But he is doing a buddy cop film with Jason Momoa, with the director of Hobbs and Shaw. So
okay.
Yeah, and he's going to be in Knives Out too.
Oh, yep. But and
he should be in Dune Part 2 because he didn't die in Part 1. Spoiler. But yeah, I mean, so he's in a lot of different roles. So
yeah,
I mean, he plays like a variety of characters, like straight-laced warriors, like in Dune or Army of the Dead, very straight-laced, very shoot first, ask questions later. Then you got him in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he's a little bit more funny. He's going to be in Knives Out. He's going to be in a buddy cop movie, which will probably be funny, serious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he plays a wide variety of character roles. So, I mean, it's nice to see him not get pegged into just that muscle man, kind of, here I am, guns blazing, muscles, no t-shirt.
Not bad to look at, though.
Yeah, I think he's just prioritizing meteor roles. things that might require some physical stuff like this buddy cop film, but as long as there's like a meaty story. I think his first mention was similar to Lethal Weapon, which is like, yeah, that's an action film for sure, but for the first two movies, the main character is on the edge of suicide, thinking about his dead wife, and there's just a recklessness to him. And a brotherly bond. So he originally he even said that he rejected it because it just felt like a no, I don't think he said it like this. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna make him sound like an asshole, but but he was like, yeah, it didn't seem like there was going to be a lot on the page for me, and then I realized later that there was more to that character than I had anticipated originally.
Well, they might have only gave him part of the script and stuff too, because I've heard that's happened before, where people have signed on only knowing the first chapter or the first section, or they give them 2-3 scenes, and that's all they have to go by. Either you want this role or you don't.
Yeah.
So I mean, it might have been a case like that. Or maybe they just went back, decided, hey, let's rewrite the script to see if we can't lure him a little bit more, and change it a little bit.
Yeah, we could totally do Suicide Squad where we just beef up Will Smith's part to be the whole movie.
Yeah. Be the only one that actually matters.
What about Adebayo? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, and then you have complete characters that just are there the whole time and then do one thing at the end. I'm talking about the chick with the sword, and then the crocodile who just like does one thing the whole movie besides following around.
I would advise you not to get killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
Yeah, and then that Crocs just follows him around until eventually jumps in the subway or the sewer system, and he's just like,
that guy
you
is
guys
such
are tourists out there.
That guy is such a great fucking actor back from the Lost days, and all he's been doing is like he was in Thor: The Dark World with the guy with the horns, and then he's the fucking lizard. What was the guy's name?
The Crocs or
Croc, yeah. Just mountains of makeup with zero character. I feel bad for anyway.
Do you know who if Suicide Squad branches out and gives another character a movie, I want the one guy that's got the Australian guy with the boomerang, Captain Boomerang.
Javelin. Wait,
I think it's Captain Boomerang.
Oh, Captain Boomerang. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got like the pink unicorn shoved in his jacket and stuff. Like, I would like to see a backstory on him because I think that'd be funny.
If you said anything other than backstory, I'd be like, oh, there's some ground chuck.
Yeah, you're gonna have to grind through first to put it back together. No, but to get the backstory and like how he got to prison and stuff like that, and because he used to rob banks and stuff, but that's not really like super, superhero, super villain type of thing. You just rob banks. It's not.
Yeah, it was a bummer that it made for a good part in the movie, but it was a bummer that Jai Courtney's only good character he's ever played on planet Earth in all of history is dead. What?
What? Sorry.
But yeah, what'd you think of Adebayo?
Good.
I loved her.
Yeah.
I loved her. Well, she's from the actress also is in Orange is the New Black, and love that show too. So I was automatically hooked to her. And then the fact that she has her wife and all of these dogs, and she tries to keep her family, and then she's like, no, she needs to focus on everything, but she does good by her group, whether that be her family or her newfound work family that they create together. It's kind of cool, even though I don't like her mom, but
yeah, I was just saying, you got the layers with her mom that she's got to kind of battle back and forth there,
Mm-hmm.
personal between the team and what her mom wants.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got also like the kind of layers between that and knowing she's doing wrong things for the right reasons. Not having, being unemployed from her pet job to joining up with this task force, even though she's got natural skills, doing things that she knows she shouldn't do for her mom by playing the diary.
And she's got to find that in herself in order to do all of those things and to, tackle through those. So we kind of go on this journey through her, of like seeing what she has to go through. And I don't know, I think it's really cool the way that they do it. It's not her show, but we see we see a lot of growth from her.
She's probably like the second main character, really.
Yeah.
And then to have her come out at the end of then have her come out at the end of the show and kind of like oust her mom and oust Task Force X and kind of like set fire to everything what the two Suicide Squads and this TV show is built on. The secrecy of Task Force X and using those people, and kind of she just ousted everybody.
Yeah, dude. When she comes out and she's actually killing all the butterflies like a fucking badass, I'm like, oh yeah, she
has some talent.
She's reaching her potential, quote unquote. And then, dude, don't tell V, but after Eagly, you're my BFF. Not him saying that, but her reaction to him saying that. Tears. Oh my god.
Isn't that the night that she plants the diary too? When he tells her that in his trailer?
No, that's after that's after everything.
Oh,
I mean, they have a good time, but him saying that you're my BFF after Eagly is in the hospital.
Okay.
When she's leaving, and dude, I fucking hate how James Gunn framed her face when she goes back to her wife and the puppies, because it was so close in that I was like, no, someone's gonna come out of the side. It's framed too close. She's gonna get shot in the head. This is the framing that happens when something bad happens. James Gunn's gonna make the bad. Oh no, they're kissing. Oh, okay, never mind.
And then a close up on the puppies running.
Yeah, like it. I swear, if it was like 1 foot back, the framing, I never would have thought that, but it was just so close that I'm like, no, someone's jumping in. Fuck. Don't ruin their reunion right now.
She's getting snatched. She's getting snatched for ousting everything.
Oh yeah,
I could see that.
I mean, but her ousting everything, like, well, one, I just thought Task Force X would have been dissolved, but seeing Economos go back, I'm like, oh shit.
I mean, does really she oust Task Force X into public light? But then does that make her mom resign? Does that bring in somebody new? Does that allow Amanda Waller to transition out or have somebody even worse transition in?
Peacemaker, Civil War.
Peacemaker, what a joke.
What is
that's the Suicide Squad that they keep referring back? It took me a second, but then I was like, oh, that's where you got that from. Okay. In Sad Days.
I just brain farted.
Oh, I said Peacemaker. What a joke.
Oh yeah.
So it took her a second to put it together, but she got it, and when she got it,
took me longer. I didn't even get it. I so didn't get it that I didn't understand what you got, Bethany.
But now we're all here. We're all at the happy campfire.
Where?
We're all kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh,
See, it's perfect. Sometimes I'm just dumb, so that when I play dumb, you don't know. Honestly, I my other guess for who was a butterfly was Adebayo's wife. Purely, again, because I started looking at the intro sequence, and she flicks off the. She's the only one that flicks off, and I was like, maybe
But
that's a hint.
No, well, I mean, I would have taken it more as she's the only one that's got a vested interest in somebody returning alive, and she's mad that they're taking away her wife, versus everybody else who doesn't really, you don't really know, at least, but they don't really have anybody to go back to. I mean, you've got Peacemaker and his dad, who he likes his dad, but knows that his dad is bad, and he kills him. You've got Vigilante, who's just got a job at a as a busboy. So I mean, and everybody else you don't really know about. So she's the only one that has somebody, to go back to. So she's probably mad that she's doing this because they need the money.
No, the only reason I was like, it might be true is because I was like, she's actively trying to get her out of the task force. Maybe a butterfly took her over and was trying to manipulate her into quitting to foil the plan. But I prefer this one better.
I mean, it could. They might be able to tag that into season 2, but maybe there's
dead.
more butterflies that we don't know.
Now it's the worms.
That'd be real awkward if in the first 2 minutes of Peacemaker season 2 they were like, my wife died, she was a butterfly, and we already beat them, so
we're not bringing back that character.
He's dead now. But I would be really curious, will Adebayo come back? What will her story be? What could a Peacemaker season 2 be? He's still technically on the run. I don't think he ever got the 10 years off from the Suicide Squad, because Myrn doesn't say, you were in prison for 4 years and you got 10 years credited to you. He just says you were in prison for 4 years and not 30. So
yeah, so he still owes time. So even if for whatever reason she cut him the same deal on this, so now he's at 24 years. I mean, he's still got 6 to go. I mean, maybe probation, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, and plus she tried framing him.
Yeah, twice.
and his second BFF has betrayed her.
Yeah.
Maybe she tries to do to Peacemaker what she was willing to do for Bloodsport's daughter. Let's look. If the second season opens with Peacemaker stealing a TV watch, we know. We just know.
Oh, yeah. At Christmas time.
You need a lookout. Yeah. I don't know. What anything else?
Fantastic show. I mean, I really liked it front to back. I thought it was pretty good. I definitely like the backstory behind everything. I was a little skeptical at first just because of the movie. I didn't think they were going to be able to get that much depth, but they've kind of manipulated the character to be a little more quirky. My only thing that I can think of is I want one of those interdimensional closets that you just open up and it's just like a huge storage facility.
Yeah, I literally was like, wait, is that in a basement? Did they go down to a basement? What's going on? And I looked it up.
And then if you didn't watch it with subtitles, when the racist people are chasing around Peacemaker and everything through the woods, they all have weird names. One's like racist skinhead, one's like white bagged wanker. There was another one too that was just like, oh man. But next time you go through that scene when they put on the hoods, watch it with subtitles. They all have names.
I love that.
So when a vigilante steals the car, like one of them I think was like white bagged wanker or white skinned wanker or something like that.
I don't get it. There's a rule in screenwriting that if they're not an important character, you need to name them as unimportantly as possible. Like clerk 1, clerk 2, you need to do that. And that's the rule. Otherwise, don't do that. Don't name them creatively. And I just fucking love that they did. Instead of just like racist 1, racist 2, racist 3, racist 4, racist 5, like make it racist with a mohawk. That's fun. Give the actors something. Like they're only going to be on screen for 20 seconds and you're not going to see their face. Say, I don't know, stinky racist.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
it
like,
doesn't have to
okay,
be.
I don't shower. That informs my character. Cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's kind of cool how they did do that. Like they incorporated all of the important people into the crazy intro, so that a way whenever you were watching the show, you were like, are they in the intro? All right, cool. Yeah, they're good. Like, that they're important. But any of what was his White Dragon's whole crew, any of them were not in that. So we were like, you're automatically a piece of shit. I don't know.
You're less important than the old man who's clipping his hedges.
The neighbor. Yes.
But Batman doesn't kill anybody.
Wait, what's that a reference to?
That's what that's what his neighbor says when he's arguing with him. He compares himself to Batman. He's a superhero like Batman. He's like, yeah, but Batman doesn't kill anybody. So James Gunn actually tweeted the names in the script. One of them was racist thug. The other one was white hood wanker. So it's on James Gunn's Twitter. You can see it. They actually named them in the script, so that way they'd get named on the closed captioning.
That's fucking great.
February 12th. Yeah, February 12th.
James Gunn's banner is similar to like Economos's photo.
It probably is.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Because
just how it's cropped, I can't tell.
Yeah.
And Adebayo is not keeping her eyes on the road while driving.
No, she is not.
Oh, there's a 9.5 minute gag reel. I gotta watch that after this.
She's gonna browse his Twitter and be like, yes, we can up to date.
They're also selling t-shirts of like what's his name? The Peanuts, the kid from the Peanuts.
Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown. Yeah, Charlie Brown. Peacemaker sitting in front of a piano, and then him with Eagly sitting on top of where Snoopy would be.
Wait, funny. The BYO. Wait, what?
No, so it's got like Charlie Brown and Snoopy, where Snoopy sleeps on top of the doghouse.
Oh, okay.
But instead of Snoopy, it's Eagly laying up there.
What's the one right there?
Top one? Where he's getting tossed in the air.
Oh, okay.
It's actually not Harcourt.
Yeah, I can't.
Economos. What do you think about his thing at the last episode where he finally admits that his beard has died, and the reason why is because he thought it made him look cooler, and then nobody cared, and so he stopped caring, and then he realized he probably should have spent the extra couple dollars to get the actual dye and not the. What do you think about that whole revelation?
Almost cried. And James Gunn said that was also an important moment for Peacemaker to see how his bullshit affects other people. Fucking loved it. Absolutely. 1000%. That was so fucking heartbreaking, especially, it made it a little more heartbreaking that he didn't have a choice to say it, like he just had to do that or die. And my God, was I so scared for Economos's life when all the butterflies chased after him and were piling on him, because it was like, fuck, they're out of range of the blast or whatever. Like
Sonic
there's
boom.
no, yeah. That also fucked me up too, because I'm in such a mind that like any expectation I have has a good chance of being subverted. that when they said 3 or 4 sonic booms, I'm like, okay, there's definitely only going to be 3. And the fourth is going to not be there when they really need it. And then they had 4, and I was like, okay. So you just cleanly had 4, and you didn't try again. Maybe they'll be close to being killed, and then they'll say activate sonic boom, and there's a 5th charge, and so close to death, but they didn't do either.
Yeah, the 5th charge or the last charge was just like a poof. It wasn't a big sonic boom. It was just like the poof, just to let them know that it was empty.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and that's when he said, "Well, looks like that was all of them," because the last one was just like a puff of smoke. It wasn't like a boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready for season 2 without any special helmets, I'm assuming. Because
he took all of them from his dad's special closet.
Yeah.
Well, he still's got the scabies. He still have the underwater world.
I don't even know what scabies are.
That's an old thing. Old
like mites, right? Like
I thought it was like the little rashes.
I don't even know how to spell scabies because Google's telling me scabies.
SCABIES.
Sorry, what?
SCABIES.
Yeah, I looked for that, and Google is just asking, "Did you mean scabies?"
Okay, yes.
What are this? Okay, someone searched in 2007. What are the symptoms of scabies? And the answer is from a dog specialist. So, yeah. And it says, "Do you mean scabies?"
Well, you still got Underwater World, so maybe we get more Jason Momoa and they team up next season and do the underwater thing.
Dun, dun,
and then we get to see like a gag reel of Jason Momoa fucking a fish.
You just know that if it was played by Dwayne Johnson, it would have to be a hammerhead shark.
Yeah.
Those are the toughest. This got me really excited for Jason Momoa in F10. F10 parts 1 and 2.
Yeah. Because he's officially announced.
That's going to be so great. The day that movie comes out, I'm just like, I've waited so long for these Peacemaker stars to reunite.
Well, just like I was so excited with the stars from I was gonna say Lord of the Rings. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's
Harry Potter.
No.
Wheel of Time.
We were just talking. Eternals. The 2 stars from Eternals were on the Castle movie. The one we were just talking about a little bit ago.
Which stars?
Jon Snow and Robb Stark. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Castle movie, and I was like, okay, so there's something not Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. To see them for the first time, then have it just suck. But then I don't know. We'll see because they got Moon Knight coming up, and that looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, Moon Knight with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, so that might redeem them from Eternals for a little bit. Are
those 2 actors gonna be in Moon Knight? Or one of them, I guess.
I'm not sure because I think the suit that he gets at the end of Eternals, I think is the bad guy or one of the bad guys for Moon Knight.
Spoilers for the Eternals post-credit scene, but I mean, it's not a movie you want to watch.
Yeah,
the voice is Mahershala Ali. It's Blade.
Yeah, just listen to Blade. If you haven't seen Eternals, just listen to Holly and Movies Are Dope. Go through that movie and rip it to shreds.
It's just so many good ideas executed so poorly and bad.
With so many stars and so many famous people.
Oh my god. Like how do you have everybody who's awesome? And then you get that.
They did that.
Don't do that. It makes me want to watch Nomadland less. That's probably a good movie. Yeah. I don't know. This is a very weird. I definitely want to rewatch this movie or this show. This was yeah, like I've said before, you both have pulse on people's actual opinions. Because me, when I heard Peacemaker, I didn't blink. I was like, "Fuck yeah! Oh yeah, let's go! Let's have it now! I am ready." I had not a doubt in my mind, and I'm happy. I'm happy for all of them, especially John Cena. Like God, one of it's such a contentious movie in my household because my daughter loves this and I absolutely hate it because it's just a piece of trash. But there's a movie Fighting with Fire, which is definitely John Cena's kid-friendly movie before stardom. Like Vin Diesel had The Pacifier, Dwayne Johnson had Tooth Fairy and shit like that, and then they get the big beefy macho roles like Peacemaker or like that's what I saw F9 and the Suicide Squad as. Like, finally John Cena has done his dues, as you do if you're a muscly boy. And now he gets the big boy roles. And when this one came out, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're on a good path. Let's keep going. Yeah, I don't know. He was given a small role in the Suicide Squad, and I think he just delivered a meaty performance.
Well, I think he really took the role to heart because I know during the Suicide Squad,
he started killing people. He's wanted in Panama.
Well, he was also wearing like this suit for like 24/7, like everywhere he went, he'd wear a suit and stuff like that. So he was like, he was in it.
Every interview, yeah. What James Gunn said, we didn't ask him to do that. He just keeps wearing it in the interviews, and I think it's fucking awesome.
Is that why you think that they put it in there, besides him just reinforcing him being so weird? Is like the first episode or two where they're in the diner and he's wearing the outfit into the diner and everything?
It makes perfect sense for the character, so I would hope it would have showed up no matter what, but I would not be surprised if that's what inspired it. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
They this suit strikes fear into people when they see it.
It's a dove of peace.
Yeah. Or are you gonna be this difficult the entire time? Yes. Just eating his fucking salads. Oh, have you guys seen Psych?
Nope.
Oh, you guys got to watch the show Psych. There is a character who's a supporting character, but he's in almost all of them. His character's name is McNabb, and he is played by the actor who plays the security guard at the secretary's house, or what was it? Goff's house, and is killed by Hardcore. And I was like, that was such good casting just for me, or people have seen Psych, because I'm like, fuck, that's McNabb. Holy shit. And then immediately I had just an investment in his character's survival, purely thanks to another show's 7 seasons and 3 movies that did the heavy lifting. But I was like, yeah, if it was, speaking back to that guy in Army of the Dead who I didn't give a shit about, if it was not that actor and if it was just a regular person, I'd be like, I care.
Bye.
But I care less. I'm kind of wondering if Judo Master is going to come back in season 2.
Yeah, he's because he doesn't. I don't think he's attached to a butterfly.
Yeah, he's not. Goff
And
explained the situation to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's free. I mean, we saw him getting his bag of chips or whatever, which is strangely weird.
Forgot to eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos while watching the finale. That's on me.
Yeah, which is weird, but I guess it's probably something to do with his, small stature, high energy, high metabolism. But one
If-
day his metabolism's gonna stop, and woo,
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
he's gonna be judo ball, not judo master.
If we find out next season that he's a 15-year-old, I would not be surprised in the slightest. No.
But he looks older in the costume. So I wouldn't be surprised if like they peel him out and he's like 40.
Fair enough. I'm just imagining a casting change in between the helmet being on and off. Just someone with dentures or something like.
Got a great little mustache and everything. Like making it work.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about for Peacemaker?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Who's your guess for the Suicide Squad spinoff?
Vigilante would be fun, but because I think he's got an interesting. I think it would help out Peacemaker's story if you knew more of his backstory, but that might be included more into the Peacemaker. But if it was strictly Suicide Squad,
yeah,
like I said, I wouldn't mind Captain Boomerang, his backstory, just because I think it'd be interesting on why he carries around a pink unicorn all the time. Rat Lady would be Rat Girl would be kind of an interesting one. Ratcatcher 2, I think would be an interesting one. I mean, I'm sure Will Smith would love to come back and do Bloodsport or Bloodsport.
Bloodshot for Will Smith, Bloodsport for Idris Elba.
Ooh, Idris Elba, forget it. I like Idris Elba. And just because it was funny with him and him and Peacemaker, so that'd be funny to put them back together. Yeah, but I did it, but like cooler.
So your answer is Bloodsport, or
is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then I wouldn't mind it.
Ratcatcher.
I think it's more likely Ratcatcher because I bet you Idris Elba's probably a little busy. But I mean, if DC called, he'd probably answer. I would rather see Bloodsport, but I think it's more likely that it'll be either Polka Dot or Ratcatcher 2.
Bethany, any ideas?
I no. Nope.
It's fine to not have it. I will say there's a very long look between Brad and Bethany, as in like, should I reveal the secrets that we actually know straight from James Gunn?
he was just here. He let himself out. I mean, he grabbed some things from the fridge, which was weird. Grabbed himself
a gun too, though. It happens upon this.
Yeah, he stumbled in, grabbed a beer out of the fridge and some food and some pizza, and then just walked out the door. I would let him go, but I mean,
considering his politics, it's really weird that he didn't have his mask on. So strange.
Yeah. Well, he's here so often. He probably just felt so comfortable.
I'm gonna take a different swing, and I'm cheating because I'm using interviews to inform my opinion. But I think he would love to do a Harley Quinn show.
Yeah, I think
he said multiple times.
I think that'd be too easy.
I think it'd be too easy, but he said multiple times that Margot Robbie is the best actor or actress he's ever worked with. And he loved creating for her. So, I mean, if he could do not a Birds of Prey. I still want my Birds of Prey show after Harley Quinn or Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I want that show. So,
Harley Quinzel.
Yes.
There was. What? Yeah. No. You were Harley Quinzel. You said the whole title. And then Harley Quinn is Harley Quinzel.
Oh, it is? Oh, I didn't know that. I was like,
you said the whole thing. I was like, no. You said everything but the last 2 syllables.
I was so confused. I was like, Yes, her full name is Harley Quinzel. What's going on? No, yeah, you're right. I didn't know that. I will remember that better for next time.
just went through the whole
God,
hassle of
missed
saying
it by this much.
Yeah, I just went through the whole thing. I was like,
So if he ended up doing a Harley Quinn show, then I would hope by osmosis, HBO Max would be like, we could do that Birds of Prey show now.
yeah, I think that's easy. I think that's super easy. That's like softball, like that's like the softball one. That's just easy underhand toss. I think you'd have more fun if you took one of the side characters, because Harley's kind of already kind of narrowed in a little bit.
Yeah, she's never had a project that's besides the Suicide Squad that's been fully loved. Let's say, like, obviously Suicide Squad. Not it's fine. I enjoyed it when I saw it, but not rewatching it. And Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harleen Quinzel. I think I fucked it up. I said Harleen, right? Fuck.
Yeah.
Never mind. That one was super fun, but it was kind of split between audience members. So I could see a part of him being like, "You'll love Harley now." There's like 100%. You may have liked her finally in the Suicide Squad, but you'll love her forever.
But then you're gonna have to get Jared Leto or recast a Joker.
Yes, please.
Well, I'm saying that because you're gonna have to bring a Joker at some point. I mean, because her whole life, her whole turning revolves around Joker.
Has she moved past Joker thanks to her being healthier in relationships by killing the guy who kills children?
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, still the whole Stockholm syndrome, it's got to come up. It's got to, or you've got to at least have flashbacks or like as she's doing something like the catches out of the corner eye and it's Joker kind of thing, but he might not be there. But I think at some point you have to have Joker in the TV show like that.
Can you imagine a Harley and Vigilante team up?
That would...
Nope.
Your faces were amazing. I hope it's true. I hope that I want that to happen.
Man, the psychotic randomness and like the random bits of like caring and then like brutally murdering somebody, it'll be just crazy off the charts.
This would turn into a true crime podcast real quick.
I'm just imagining that like both of them would be very critical of certain heinous things the other does, but then not like very hypocritical in a way.
Yes.
Like, why would you kill that person? And then like slices somebody equally innocent. They're both trying to pretend like they're better or somehow not fucked up in some way. Yeah. I would very much be happy with, I don't know, maybe do you think Vigilante could do a whole season of 8 episodes? Or is he more like a Minion or Jack Sparrow, where you shouldn't put the whole story on his shoulders?
You could do a backstory and just back it to when Peacemaker was in prison, and you can just kind of go like his. So you could definitely do it. Now would that be the best route to go? Probably not. But I would say I would love to see Idris Elba come back, but I think you could have more fun with somebody like Polka Dot or Ratcatcher 2 or somebody that's not well known, and just make it your complete own. Like you got almost complete control, because they didn't really follow the comic books for Peacemaker. So I mean, obviously James Gunn has some liberty, and you could just take one of those smaller characters and just blow it up. And the fact that the reason why he used Polka Dot in Suicide Squad because he thought it was a completely ridiculous character.
Yeah.
So that's why he used it. So to take a ridiculous character like that and make a TV show out of it, I could see him do something like that and just make it his own and just kill it.
I'd be shocked if Idris Elba wasn't willing to come back, because I mean
Oh,
he's doing a Luther movie right now, I believe. Which if you've never seen, he had a Luther show on BBC, where it's literally called Luther. He was the main character.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the experience he had on the Suicide Squad, why not? I could see like a season 2 of Prison Break, but for the Suicide Squad, where like Amanda Waller has deactivated their bombs, but they're still criminals, so they need to figure out a way to, I don't know, stay out of trouble.
Good luck with that one.
The Suicides, what would you call it? After the Suicide Squad, they're staying out of trouble, or trying to.
Yeah, or trying to.
Anyhow, cool. Anything else for Peacemaker?
Nope. Good.
No.
All right. Well, everybody, if you want to like comment on, I don't know, Spotify or Instagram and talk about this great show. What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? Who would you eat dinner with?
Make a spinoff with. Who's your choice for spinoff character to do another one?
If you had a secret and Goff was torturing one of these characters to try to get it out of you, who would you want that to be? You gotta stay quiet. Oh, we didn't even talk about Vigilante going.
Yeah.
Oh,
They'll never be able to pick me out of the lineup if I never keep my face still.
The facial exercises.
I literally thought it made so much sense that he was doing that, but at first, just before I had any time to think, I was like, oh, he is not well mentally. Please put the mask back on. He's going. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. You can find me at Movies Are Dope. Brad and Bethany, where can they find you?
At Brad F912.
At Brad F912, because I don't have one. But thank you guys for having me.
Hell yeah. This was fun.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
You guys should watch The After Party.
Okay.
It's on Apple.
Intrigued.
TV.
Okay.
It's on Apple TV Plus. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's almost over. But bye, everybody.
Bye.